So time management is a thing that entrepreneurs, we have to deal with. So Heather, what are your thoughts on some ways for entrepreneurs to improve their time management skills? And I know, of course, we've got a couple firemen in here, and firemen are notorious for, in a good way, for doing not only their job, but doing extra stuff on the side, right, to bring more revenue for their family,
correct,
stuff like that. So time management, what are your thoughts?
So with time management, I think it comes down to recognizing what you are actually doing and then making the decision on what really needs to be done. I have an exercise where we do a to-do list and a should-do list, and I call it the 4 Ds. Dump it, delegate it, delay it, or do it. So you can either look at your list and is it something you could just not do and like it won't negatively impact you? Just don't do it. Sometimes we have to make that decision. Delegate it. Can someone else do it at a higher level or just even at a level that you're willing to accept? Delay it. Does it have to be done right now? Is it the most important thing you do right now, or is there something more important that needs your time and energy? And then if you've gone through those 3, just do it.
So, Mike, how do you do with time management? Do you think you're good at it, or
I think
it's always a work in progress, right?
It's always a work in progress. You're never going to be a master at it, but I think I pretty much do what Heather just brought up. Maybe not the same way, but I went to school for business, and you're exposed to all the Microsoft Office. So I try to put everything on spreadsheets, and I realized by writing stuff down, it frees up your mental capacity for other things, and your clarity is a little bit better. But I like to give myself deadlines. So when we first started this, I did make like a long list of stuff that needed to be done and put some anticipated dates that I wanted those things to get done, and it kind of helped us get the ball rolling a lot faster.
How did you guys figure out who was going to do what in the business? Who delegated that? Or did you guys kind of like agree, like, this is my area of expertise? Or have you guys figured that out?
Yeah, I'll let Keenan jump in on that.
As he was saying, when we first started, he took a lot of the forefront of everything, and he made sure that we actually had certain roles and positions, and then under those roles and positions we had certain things that we were supposed to be doing. So I can kind of piggyback off of what he was saying as far as like time management, scheduling, things like that. I think he did a really good job of creating a space for us to be able to hold ourselves accountable, especially with what we're supposed to be doing to make the business grow. So with that being said, yeah, I mean, we still do that to this day. We talk about it, whatever the needs are, and then we just go from there. But, we kind of break them up, just kind of make sure that we have just time to actually tackle all the things that we need to, because we do try to focus on networking and some of the social media aspects. And I know that a lot of that can take a lot of the time from doing just, the physical aspect as well. So that's what we like to do.
When you say we like to do, that's your method?
Yeah,
definitely.
Method. That's our method.
So you guys are both firemen. So can I ask your ranks?
We're both at the bottom of the totem pole. We're both just firefighters, or privates is another word that they use.
Okay. So I guess that's kind of good, too, because it might be weird working for a supervisor or something like that. Have you guys been on this about the same amount of time?
No, I've been on going on 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keenan?
Going on 3.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What'd you do before this?
I worked at Chase. Yeah,
okay.
I was a banker for a little bit.
Why'd you want to be a fireman?
I don't want to be a banker anymore.
That's a good reason. Now you got to carry
do everything like the most opposite thing that you could do is being a banker. I was like, all right, let me do something physical.
Yeah, right. And it's very physical what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
You guys have to exercise more than we did on the police department. That's for sure. We could say no to the PT test every year. Can you guys say no to the PT test?
So they just kind of implemented something a few years ago. It's voluntary, but I think it's voluntary after, before a certain year you came in.
Oh.
But they kind of incentivize it. So if you score good enough, they'll give you money towards your HSA.
Right.
Okay.
So
I love that HSA.
Right.
All right, so let's talk about your business, Gravity Party Rentals. So what was the inspiration for the business idea? Well, who had it? Whose idea was it?
So it was mainly my idea.
You okay with that, Keenan?
That's the truth. Corona happened. There's a few things that kind of got the idea rolling, but Corona happened, and that kind of just opened my eyes a little bit more to having something else, another set of skills that I could depend on versus like just my job in case we were to ever have to downsize, worst case scenario. I have a buddy that I knew from probably ninth grade. We met playing basketball, and this dude is a hustle maniac. Does everything. Shout out to Get Bouncy. So I kind of went with those two guys. They've been doing it for 7 years, just renting out moon bounces. And so I went with them probably 2-3 months roughly, just getting all the ins and outs. And when I rode with them, they made everything so easy. And I was like, bro, there's no way y'all can make this type of money. I felt like this should be against the law. It was so
Yeah,
easy.
he's doing $1 million a month. I mean, how much are we talking about here?
And for them, it's they have their goals and stuff like that. But as a kid, I always wanted to own my own business. I went to school for business, and you always have that broad, vague idea. I just want to run a business. Or what do you want to do? And it wasn't until now that I actually, okay, let me put all these things together. And another thing that kind of got the ball rolling was you work with all these guys in the department, they be in like 27 years, they're getting ready for retirement, and you ask them, well, hey, what are you going to do after this? And the question is, I don't know. Yeah. Or, they got to work extra years because their kids in college and they got to pay the insurance, all that stuff. And some of these guys, you come across and you get kind of, I guess, burnt out over time, and the attitude switch up or whatever, because they do have to do that extra time, right? Because it's a financial burden, kind of. And I don't want to be that guy. When I'm ready to retire, I want to go on my own terms, not because, I got a kid that I'm trying to get through college.
Yeah, as long as you're willing to hustle,
Right.
you can find something.
Right.
Even if you don't have, that other branch, a hold of that other branch before you let go of the fire department branch, it's like you can find it. I did that. So I retired in 2018. I didn't have something immediately. I tried, but it wasn't working out. It took me about 3 years before I launched on KTSA, with what we're doing now.
Right.
This led to everything else. So you can definitely find it. But I know the burnout you're talking about because you spend so much time there. What are your thoughts on that, Heather?
I mean, you see it in almost everything, even in business too, but it's a lot different to have burnout and also not have an exit strategy. That's where it gets really, I feel like, bad if you're just going and going and going and you get so burnt out you don't even have the energy to plan how to exit.
Right.
Yep.
And that's where you see a lot of people in the corporate world and in these high-level stress jobs where they're finally making enough money or they're just so busy that by the time they get home, the energy it takes to plan an exit strategy just doesn't exist anymore.
No, so you're there 30 years, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready to retire, but then what?
Keenan, does it take a lot of energy to run your guys' business?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's physically taxing, for sure.
Oh, yeah, because you got set up, takedown, and all that stuff.
Right.
Don't you do enough of that at the fire department? You got to go do it some more with the big bounce stuff?
Right.
So what are your thoughts on, with respect to growing your business? What is your guys' strategy on really I don't know where you're at on the revenue and stuff, but I know you guys are trying to grow, right?
Of course.
What's that growth strategy for you guys look like?
Well, we've been doing a lot of networking, trying to meet people. That always helps. Like I said, the social media aspect. We're actually trying to figure out every single day new ways that we can, try to break into this industry and, I guess, meet the people that we need to meet that can actually help us.
Yeah, I was going to ask, where are you networking?
So we're part of a couple organizations. We just joined the San Antonio Chamber of Commerce.
I'm big on that.
Maybe about a month or two ago. We also joined the African American Chamber of Commerce, And so they hold events and business oriented classes, talking about bookkeeping and all those sorts of things. But really, like the strategy is, to meet people and to get our brand and logo everywhere so that people know that we exist. We just started it in January officially, so we're still trying to break into the industry in that regard.
So real quick before like we go deeper into that, because that's a whole conversation right there. You guys are party rentals. You started by kind of going and seeing the world of the bounce houses.
Right.
What exactly kind of party rentals do you guys do?
So we have the moon bounces, we have the water slides, we have tables, chairs, we have concessions, which consists of cotton candy machines, snow cones, popcorn.
Kettle corn?
If you like kettle corn, you can do
Who
that.
doesn't like kettle corn?
Yeah, kettle corn is on point.
Why are you laughing?
No,
Well
it's
done,
good.
kettle corn.
I like it. And we also have games. So we have like the giant Connect 4, Jenga, and giant Pong, which is just trash cans with the little ball, giant beer pong if you need better reference. But that's pretty much all we have right now. We do have some inflatable projector screens, but we haven't really been pushing those too hard. We've been getting pretty consistent with the moon bounce and the water slides and stuff like that, and tables and chairs. Yeah. It's not really good to be outside unless you're gonna be getting wet.
Yeah.
At least this summer.
Well, when it comes to like figuring out where to target,
Right.
as far as networking and trying to grow those connections and stuff like that, I know Heather's been huge for me on that with my business. She's a business coach. Have you guys ever talked to a business coach just out of curiosity about what you guys are doing? Have a sit down and say, hey, what do you think? And what kind of value could they bring to what you guys are trying to do? Have you ever had that conversation with one?
We haven't had that yet. That's the point. Like, not just for the business wise of us getting customers, but we want to learn how to run this thing as smoothly and efficient as possible. So that's why we're trying to meet everybody, because we're always willing to learn how to do this better. This is like a legacy thing for us. We talk about it all the time. These are a set of skills that you really don't get to learn in school. And so,
you have a business degree, but in fact, when you said that, because I have a business degree as well, I was going to be like, well, did you learn how to do a business in there?
No.
I didn't want to put you on the spot, but same as me. I didn't
And I
learn
probably,
that.
like, looking back, I should have went for entrepreneurship, but
Even
really,
that.